Hi everyone, this video is a follow-up to my other one in which I talked about possible impact of Modern Horizons 2 on Tooth and Nail. So after a lot of games and testing what could be good, I came to a conclusion that Tooth and Nail is dead. It's no longer a viable archetype. Before Modern Horizons 2, I believed it was actually a competitive deck, or at least semi-competitive, because if you learned how to play it, knew all the little tricks, combos, and how to play in certain situations, you could somehow pilot it to victory. And that was the embodiment of what Modern was to me. But with how things are now, with all the new overpowered cards, this is just a game of who can fit more Modern Horizons 2 cards in their deck just wins, because their power level is so high. And Tooth and Nail doesn't have a luxury of including those cards into its core. So the days of playing Tooth and Nail in Modern are over, in my opinion. But yeah, so I won't be posting any more videos where I play against meta or tier decks or some brews, because I don't like playing in this new Modern meta game. Instead, I will provide you with some Tooth and Nail brews. Of course, they all will be casual, because Tooth and Nail is not really playable in Modern, unless you would, I don't know, make all of the Modern Horizons 2 banned, but that's not going to happen, of course. So here I'm going to present you a take on Tooth and Nail that's a little bit different. It's Tooth and Nail Angels, and here's the list. It's based on my classic Tooth and Nail that I've been playing and showing you the matches on this channel, but this one is green-white in Selesnya colors. It has a couple of fetch lands, temple gardens, plains, forests, Cavern of Souls to make angels uncounterable, and some filter lands to get more than one white mana. The ramp package is standard. I haven't changed much except Morbi for some of the birds. All of the rest is basically the same. And Tooth and Nail combos that are in this list are Avacyn and Platinum Angel to make it indestructible. There is also Gisela and Bruna to meld into Brusela. Another combo you can play is Subjugator Angel to tap all creatures your opponent control, and then Sunblast Angel to destroy all tapped creatures. So wiping your opponent's whole board, and they are both angels. The support cards are Shalai, Voice of Plenty, to give you, your planeswalkers and other creatures hexproof. Also a mana sink ability to pump your entire team. Along with Wolfbear Elemental, which is great with Shalai because it produces many bodies. Unfortunately, it's not an angel, but it works exceptionally well with Shalai. There's also Timeless Witness, Modern Horizons 2 edition. This version doesn't have Emrakul, so it's a lot less susceptible to lose against mill decks, but with its Eternalize ability you can use it and return something like Platinum Angel to your hand and then play it, of course. So that's your out against mill decks. Of course, one could play something like Archetype of Endurance because hexproof is, I think, better than Indestructible in most cases. But this is Tooth and Nail with angels, not just green-white Tooth and Nail with good stuff in it. Another card that's here is Ladamir's Call, and I've been I mean, it's not bad, it's not a creature or something that contributes to the board, but it's a cheap tutor. If you have Nissa who shakes the world out, you can tap a single land to cast this spell and search for a creature, like Temple Garden. And then you find anything you need, not just a creature with converted mana cost 6 or more, which was the case in my classic Tooth and Nail list with Fierce Empath. And this can find anything, so you know, maybe there's some hate beer you can tutor up against your opponent. Just it grabs you anything you want at an instant speed. So then there's sideboard, there's some ramp, some hate pieces, but there are also other angels. But we will start with Yarshan. It serves some kind of a ramp. It grabs you 2 lands and has somewhat useful ability. But then there are the angels like Iona to stop your opponents from casting spells, Linvala, Sigarda, Serra's Emissary from Modern Horizons 2. I don't think it's as good, but sometimes it will be very useful against certain decks. Angel of Jubilation, which has similar abilities to that of Yarshan, except it doesn't get you 2 lands. And Lyra Downbringer to give your other angels lifelink and also pump them. There's also Angel of Serenity, which can exile up to 3 creatures, so some kind of a removal, similar to Atarka but also different. And some hate cards in the form of Scavenging Goose and Raiden. Not actually an angel, but something similar. And this is the casual angel list that I'm presenting you, but there's also one that's somewhat less casual, more refined, and most of the cards are the same, except the combo is with Platinum Angel and Archetype of Endurance, Elesh Norn, which has been doing wonders for me. It helps with slowing down your opponent, killing their creatures, but also pumping Wolfbear elemental tokens. And then there's Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, because I found that after casting Tooth and Nail, you are basically in a top deck mode. Both you and your opponent just draw cards, play them, but nothing happens because you have assembled semi-immortality. So you're just waiting for some big finisher or Shalai to pump your team. And Ulamog has been doing great because it exiles 2 things on cast and can easily end the game by milling your opponent out. Sideboard is mostly experimental, but Nissa's Pilgrimage is still there to help you ramp. Some graveyard hate in form of Endurance, which in my opinion just put Ooze out of the consideration. Endurance is far better at dealing with graveyard strategies than Ooze is now. It's a card one of those hail bears I talked about that can be tutored with Eladamir's Call. And others are Giant Magistrate to stop those cascade decks, some Artifact Hate, ETB Hate, and some other creatures like Platinum Angel, additional ones, Circular Spider to stop some creatures with flying like Dragon Rage Channeler, and a big body to block something, doesn't die to Unholy Heat, uncounterable creature and a resilient creature. Other than that, the deck is mostly the same, maybe except this one has Castle Garen Brick because it doesn't have almost any 2 double white mana symbols except for Elish Norn. So the castle is there as an addition. And yeah, that was 2 takes on white-green Tooth and Nail. One with angels and the other with kind of angels. It's more like a semi-beatdown with immortality.